the effort the Supreme Council have made. They have issued 2 or 3 statements before now, and these are extracts from that statement. So, Your Excellency, you are welcome. So, it's the floor is open now for you to tell us what's the update on Palestinian Israeli and what information do you want to receive. Thank you.
Thank you so much indeed. And Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and very good morning to each one of you here. It's my pleasure, of course, to meet you. I already met some of you, and for the first time it seems that I met other of you. Indeed, many things to talk about what is currently running and what is currently happening, or as I used to call it, the textbook genocide, the Israeli textbook genocide on the Palestinian people. But I would like to start by saying that October 7 is not the beginning of the history. It's very important because all the biased Western media are the majority of this, for sure. You know that it's completely biased media. The biased Western media, different outlets, of course, is trying, likewise the whole entire Israeli media is trying to enforce and to shape our consciences as if the October 7th is the first day of the galaxy. As October 7th is the creation of the whole entire world. They are trying all the time to neglect what happened in just Friday, October 6th. They killed 7 Palestinians for nothing. Since the beginning of only this year, 152 Palestinians was killed. Part of them snapped, one of them snapped. His name is Muhammad al-Tamimi, 2.5 years. Part of us as a Palestinian used to be killed just to show their friends in the social media, and I can share with you many videos in this regard. So that October 7th is not the beginning of the history, and we could not, as a Palestinian, accept it. So that our official positions should used to say that it's the symptom. October 7th is the symptom of the issue, but the root of it was deeply entrenched in the history, and we can go to 2 types of history. The biblical history, and I'm ready to talk about this issue since our father Abraham, before he became, before the God called him Abraham, when he lifted all the Chaldeans, Iraq now, to come to the Canaanite place, which is ours, and he met us and he faced us as a Palestinian and Canaanite. This is one type of the history. We are ready also to discuss it and to go through it and to talk about this. But the other history, which is the modern history, started only 106 years ago, when the United Kingdom, with zero influence, with zero right to give the permission or the notorious Balfour Declaration to the European Jews to build their state in our historical land. This is very important. We cannot tackle any political event, any big junctural event while we isolating it from its political and historical background. Our issue started, if you want to measure it, 106 years ago or 3,000 years ago. I'm ready and able to talk about the 2 types or the 2 starting point. I'm ready. But let us just focusing in the last 106 years, when again the United Kingdom issued the notorious Balfour Declaration. In this declaration, they gifted, and I mean it, they gifted. They did not have the right to do so, but they gifted our historical land, Palestine, where we are the Palestinian, the indigenous people, consisted at that time Palestine with 5% of our brothers, the Jews, Palestinian Jews, 15% Christian, our Christian, and the remaining part, 80% of the Muslims. Of course, they gifted it to the foreigner, to the European Jewish. As part of it, according to Ilan Dabi, the Israeli writer and philosopher and historian, as he rightly mentioned it, it's to get rid of the Jewish, because you know that the hate against the Jewish was not in the Middle East, it was there in Europe. So that they promised them with our historical land. At that exact time, November 2nd, 1917, our struggle or our tragedy was started, and it was created by your old, as African, your old oppressor, the United Kingdom, and I have no problem to say that. So that at that exact time, we starting facing this horrific situation. So that October 7th is deeply entrenched in that time. Then the issue was deteriorated by militarizing the new foreigner, the new arrival, which they used to call themselves and to have our nationality Palestinian, and you can dig or search about Golda Meir, the late Israeli Prime Minister, 1969 till 1973. She declared by herself in a video, and I can share it also with you. I think I already shared it in my Twitter. I already shared it in my Twitter. She declared, she claimed, she acknowledged that she was a Palestinian since she arrived to Palestine till they established the state of Palestine. They used to have our airport, they call it Ben Gurion Airport. When you go to Google, you're gonna find the name of this airport is a lead airport. I mean, they enjoy not only our home, but all our facilities. Till today, Israel is using the main seaport of Israel called Haifa. Haifa is a pure Arabic name, and we use to call our daughter Haifa, Yafa, Bisant, and by our city's name. So the Haifa till today, the main seaport of Israel, originally is a pure Palestinian seaport. Ben Gurion Airport till 1973 was Al-Lid Airport, which is a Palestinian airport. So that the issue was deteriorated since the issuing of the Balfour Declaration. The immigrant from the Jewish started immigrate to and seeking asylum in Palestine. They start to militarize themselves by, of course, the fully closing eyes by the British, if not the cooperation and, of course, support by the British, the United Kingdom. Then the issue deteriorated till we reach 1947, and at that time, December 29, United Nations adopted a resolution 181. In this resolution, or the partition plan for Palestine, 181, or the partition, the official name. Could you imagine? The official name is Partition Plan for Palestine, which converted to be Israel. The Israeli gangs, Lehi, Shterin, and other gangs, military gangs, which is conducted tens of massacres against the Palestinian people before even the establishment of the state of Israel. They terrorize us. One of the most famous massacres called Deir Yassin, and you can Google it. King David Hotel, you can Google it. Tens of massacres they conducted. And they expelled us from our historical land. Again, the United Nations adopted the resolution that I mentioned, 181. This resolution, we refused it as a Palestinian for many simple reasons. First and foremost, the majority of the resident in Palestine at that time is pure Palestinian, whether they are Jewish, Christian, or Muslims. 70%. The 30% whom is consisted. The other part of the new arrival was completely very new arrival. They did not yet, a majority of them did not yet at that time have our passport. They flee from Europe after the defeating of the Nazi and during the Holocaust time and the Second World War. We used to, even till today, we have the official document that we are owned at that time 94% of the property in Palestine. The central bank is ours. The money itself is the Palestinian. Everything is ours. Then we discover that the United Nations is dividing, and not only dividing Palestine, partition Palestine, partition plan of Palestine, but they also give the new arrival 54% of our historical land. So with that we refused it, but unfortunately it was very late because we woke up with demilitarized people, defenseless people, so that, well, of course, the whole complicity that started at that time and till today is still running. They succeeded to expel us from our historical land. They succeeded to, according again to Ilan Halevi, and I want you to please to Google this name. He's very intelligent. He's very decent. When he's Israeli, he's a Jewish. He's talking about he wrote the book, The Ethnic Cleansing of the Palestinian People, so that they ethnically cleansed us. 950,000 Palestinians was completely expelled and became refugees. I born as a refugee in a refugee camp in Gaza. My late father, Muhammad, was born in our original village, which is Berga, and we discovered ourselves that we completely destroyed society. When I'm talking about 950,000 Palestinians, you cannot compare it with the population, the Nigerian population, because 950%, it's the majority at that time of the Palestinians. When you talk about more than 25,000 Palestinian, innocent Palestinian was killed, this is when you compare it in a percentage, God forbid, of course, with the Nigerian, this means approximately 3 million Nigerian to be, God forbid, of course, to be killed. So that the percentage is very important, not the absolute number. For 950,000 Palestinian was expelled, this means the majority of the Palestinian society was completely expelled, ethnically cleansed from our historical land. And we became a refugee in Lebanon, Jordan, Syria, Egypt, West Bank, and Gaza. At that time, Israel, or the newborn state, was succeeded to build itself, or the new state, on 78% of the historical land of Palestine. In 1967, they succeeded even to occupy the remaining 22% of the historical land of Palestine, Gaza, West Bank, and East Jerusalem. This is the history behind that. But of course, this is a panorama history. This is spotlight in the history. But if we want to go to dig deep in this history, there is tens of books was already written in this regard. Millions of articles is already written in this regard. But we did not succeed to tell our story till the last 15 years. For very simple reason, the media, and part of you used to come to my residency, and I used to tell them the main issue, the main moral issue to you as a media, not to support us. And I did not ask anyone, and will not ask anyone, whether you are Christian or Muslim, here in Nigeria, in Africa, or everywhere, all over the world, don't support us. But it's very fair to listen to us. It's very fair to give us the ability to tell our story. I'm pretty sure what did I mentioned in the last 10 minutes is, for many of you, is very new information. This is very important. So that we did not succeed to tell our story for a very long time, for a very simple reason. The media outlet, the main media outlet, was completely, majority of it, completely biased and propagandized and popularized and publishing only the Israeli narrative. Thanks God, by the last 15 years, 20 years, we have what's so-called the social media. This is very important. This helped us as a Palestinian very much, and this is very important. All the media, social media outlet, gave us the ability to tell our story, to tell our narrative, at least to show some videos about what is happening right now and in the past in Palestine. Till we reach again back to the history, because I used to say that October 7th is not the, is deeply entrenched in the history. 1967, they occupied the remaining 22% of the historical land of Palestine. 1987, we started the first uprising, Al-Intifada al-Ula. In 1948, we call it Al-Nakba. Al-Nakba. It's very important to memorize this because it's our trademark, unfortunately. Al-Nakba, catastrophe. What happened with us, Al-Nakba at that time. 1987, we started the first uprising for 5 years, and we lost a lot of our loved ones. Me in person lost a lot of my loved ones and friends, of course, on top of them, Ghassan al-Habbash, and I can tell you a very strong and very tragedy behind Ghassan al-Habbash passed away. He's my friend, my very close friend. But anyhow, till 1993, when the Palestinian Liberation Organization was succeeded to have to sign the Oslo Accord with the late Prime Minister Ishaq Rabin. But unfortunately, the current follower of the Messianic fanatic inciter at that time, which is Yigal Amir and his group, of course, succeeded. Yigal Amir succeeded to assassinate in 1995, succeeded to assassinate Ishaq Rabin, and they put, at that time, they sowed the seed to put an end to the peace process. Either none of the government, the Israeli government that took chair since the signing of the Oslo Accord was really intended to put an end to this occupation, because put an end to this occupation means the implementation of the two-state solution, and the two-state solution, it's not a new invention. The two-state solution is entrenched in the General Assembly Resolution 181 that I talked about it, that had been adopted in late 1947. So that the two-state solution is there. It's not a new invention. So that don't let anyone to tell you that it's a new discussion. That no, it's there. The two-state solution is there more than 75 years ago. It's there. It's not our invention. It's there, and we did not invent the wheel from the scratch. But unfortunately, again, none of the Israeli government was serious to put an end to the occupation. Two-state solution means put an end to the occupation. Peace process means that the remaining part that we accept in the Palestinian Liberation Organization, that we need to build our state in only, and again I wanted to stress on it, we in the Palestinian Liberation Organization accept and agreed to build our state in only 22% of our historical land, Palestine. This is very important because otherwise we are talking about new fraud history. No, we accepted to build our state in 22% of our historical land. But Israel did not accept that for a very simple reason. If you are intent to implement the two-state solution, you should dismantle any single settlement in the occupied Palestinian territory. The settlement, since we start the peace process till today, the settlement itself has become approximately 250 times, the settlers 300 plus times more than when we start the peace process itself. This is very important because all the talk about the two-state solution, which they denied, now they did not talk about the two-state solution, and they cannot accept any wording regarding the two-state solution. But even before the last escalation of the last Israeli war against the Palestinians, the two-state solution is just to throw the ash on the eyes, because if you are serious on the two-state solution, you should be serious to put an end and to dismantle the existing settlement on the occupied Palestinian territory. And this is unfortunately not happened at all since we signed the Oslo. Till we reach October 7th. October 7th is another day of a very long and very tragic days in our life as a Palestinian. But we should not accept the Israeli narrative is to concentrate again
Everything is built in October 7th. Even we did not deny what happened in October 7th, but we completely deny all the details that the Israelis is trying to talk about, such as raping the women. There is zero proof till now. Cutting the heads of the baby, there is zero proof till now for this. We did not deny that there is many was killed. It's very important because we saw it. We did not deny that many civilian was escorted and took hostages in Gaza. This is very clear cut, but we cannot accept, and I will came to this, we cannot accept to say that because this is the justification that they are using it for the open culture right now. Killing the babies, decapitate the babies, cutting the heads of the babies, 40 babies. It's not true at all. Even the United States of America, the President of the United States of America was mentioned in his Twitter. Then the White House retracted it after approximately 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and they deleted this his tweet. And they mentioned that his information came according to the Israeli media and others. Arab donors, it's not, at least from our point of view, they can claim it, and we have no problem if they gonna claim it. But who gonna investigate and tell us the truth? There should be another third party to come and to investigate and to tell and to write it as report. But for Israel to be the investigator, the executor, and to play all of these roles, this is unfair at all, and we cannot accept it. I already wrote an article in this regard. Very, very soon it will be published. Again, when it came to what happened, October 7th is fact, and no one should deny it. October 7th is a tragedy, is another tragedy in our history as Palestinian and Israel, but it's deeply entrenched in the history itself. And I would like you all to refer, I would like to refer you all to what did the Secretary General Antonio Guterres, the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres, in October 24th, I think, in the Security Council, in his speech, when he mentioned that October 7th is not came from a vacuum. And he talked about it. He linked it to the Israeli occupation itself. But after October 7th, no one is talking about it. As if the history just October 7th and all of the other atrocity, all of the textbook genocide is just a consequence for the October 7th. This is again something, even the Western country, except the United States of America, even the Western countries talked, in the last week we witnessed that they are talking already step backward from the unshakable and blind and unconditional support to the Israel, because what did they do is something very horrific and shocked everyone all over the world. Just more than one point, I know that time is very limited. In the war, all of us is losers. No one is winner. But unfortunately, we lost a lot in this war, but the big loser is Israel for more than one reason. The first thing that they declared two main goals for the war is to eliminate or completely exterminate, eliminate or neutralize the Palestinians fighters, and the second one is to liberate the hostages. In the liberation of the hostages, they did not succeed till now, after 75 days of the textbook genocide. They did not succeed to free any single one, only by the moderator of Qatar, by the diplomatic way, all of us, not them, all of the human race succeeded to liberate and to free to get back 105 hostages. Even 3 days ago, I'm not pretty sure whether you watched it, 3 days ago, last Friday, 3 of the hostages succeeded to flee. But unfortunately, very sadly, and with deep sorrow on all of our heart as a Palestinian before they became, before the Israel. They killed them. Naked people. With white flag, shouting in Hebrew. They killed them. This is a very sad event. But not only this. This means that when we claim that we the Palestinians used to be killed, even when we are naked and waving a white flag, this is fact, and we know that, and we have a lot of witnesses. No one would like to accept our claim. But unfortunately, instead of having them, those three persons, to go to their mom, to their family, to have their dinner with their family, last Friday, they killed them. This is very, very, very sad event. And in the war, all of us is losers. Israel is the big losers. Israel did not succeed till now to free any single, to accomplish any single war goal that they declared it, even to neutralize the Palestinian fighter. They did not succeed. Even in the north places, when they declared time and time that it is a very clean area and there is no military fighter, till today more than 136 Israeli soldiers was killed, in the majority of them in the north, unfortunately. Of course, unfortunately, when I say unfortunately, because I started by saying that everyone is loser in the game. Also, Israel is lost. All of it is credibility, unless within it is a very classical supporter in the Western country and all of the world. But Israel is completely lost. It is credibility in the social media. Our narrative is 10 times more than the Israeli narrative, and there is a huge change is coming, and real change is coming in the world, and we witness it, we smell it, we believe it. Another very important issue is everyone is talking about the day after the war, but no one till today talk about the day before the day after. I mean the last day of the war. All of them, they lifted it to the Israeli cabinet war. This is unfortunate issue, unfortunately. This should be tackled by the whole entire international. We the Palestinians believe that the international community, and I wrote it in one of my press releases, that they lifted us to the mercy of the worst crocodiles all of the world. We did not accept from now forward anyone to preach us about the international or the universal declaration of human rights. There is a human rights declaration, but when it came to its applicability as a universal, we saw that it's not universal. It's selected, the applicability of it selected. The international community lifted us, and unfortunately, except the individuals and the decent voice from, of course, the media, the social media, the majority of the international community leaders, political leaders, lifted us and turned their back, and this is not a win-win game, because by the end of the day, everyone is watching and they know what is happening. Tens of millions around the world is talking and supporting the Palestinian cause right now, and a lot of them, those political leaders, is losing them. But anyhow, the day after should be tackled when we talk about the last day. This is very important. Regarding the way out, only the peace, only the negotiation table. Israel is tried with all of its military support, with all of its military sophisticated weapons. They tried, and they will continue. It seems that they will continue to try their ultimate best to take us and to enforce us to come to our needs. And this did not happen, and will not happen. We cannot and we will not accept to be the slaves of the Jewish at all. We cannot accept to be the slaves of the Jewish supremacy at all. We cannot accept to continue course, we will continue to resist, but we have different type of resistance, of course. On top of that, likewise, President Abbas used to say that it's the diplomatic resistance, and we will continue to do so, but we will not accept at all. Likewise, in the past, we did not accept to give up, to surrender to the Israeli. One very important issue, just you, the media, have a moral, the ultimate moral duty towards put an end to this atrocity. This atrocity is not affecting only the Palestinian people. This atrocity is also affected the Israeli themselves. We know that it's part of their revenge now, and there is a crazy mood in Israel. But by the end of the day, when they will sit up, they will discover how much, how big the problem that they create to themselves all over around the world. We are not in favor of that at all. We are not in favor to see them losers, because by the end of the day they will back to revenge for us. We believe that of the win-win game, and you, the media correspondent, have again a moral duty in this particular issue, and part of your moral duty is to know more about us, to reach out to me in person here. This is the first time ever for some of you to meet a Palestinian in person. This is the first time ever to you to listen to us as a Palestinian. It's very fair. I'm not looking for any one of you to support us. I did not asking anyone to support us. Even when I went to the leaders, to the Nigerian leaders, don't support us. Just listen to us. It's very fair. When I went to the church here, to the Christian church, I used to tell them, please don't support us. I'm not here to asking you support. But it's very fair. It's very moral to listen to us. That have been said. My office, through, you know all how to reach out to me, to my office. And you are all invited to chat with me, all invited to interview me, all invited also to go to the Israeli side, to listen to them. They have their narrative, of course, and to come with another question. You are all invited to send me in written your question, your very tough question, your very critical question, in written, or to come to my office to meet me, and I'm ready to tell our story. This is the moral duty that I'm looking to you, or I'm asking you to uphold it and to stand for it. With that, thank you so much. It took me approximately half an hour to talk, but this is the cause of Palestine. I can talk many days. Thank you so much. Ready to listen to you.
Once again, we thank our Excellency for that presentation. We welcome all our colleagues that just came. We just listened to His Excellency, the Ambassador of Palestine in Nigeria, Ambassador Abdullah Muhammad Shawesh. He has given us background to the struggle. He has given us some of the historical background, crisscrossing over 1,000 years, and but he said it's presently down to the one of 160 years to 1948 declaration, and then further down to the latest one that happened in October 7, which necessitated the massive killing, which he called a massacre that just happened. And in conclusion, he is asking for understanding of the world. He talks about the hypocrisy of the international community. So many laws, so many resolutions of the United Nations, but which was not implemented. He said these are things that are later there for all of us to pick for. But he was worried that the media have not really spotlighted all this injustice to the people of Palestine, and he is now calling for understanding, fairness, and justice. In his own words, is not seeking for support. It's not saying support us against the Israeli. It's only saying study the situation, analyze it, and then be objective in your analysis. I hope I got to right.
Yes, 100%.
The floor is open now for clarification, comment, question. Just indicate, I will call on you and then reintroduce yourself. Number one. Number two. You have a question? I want to take the. Can you just raise up your hand? Let me just give you number. Number one. I've already given you 2. Then you are 3. Okiki 4. Anyone there? Then 5. Sorry. 6. So we have 6 questions. So number one. Your Excellency, I think maybe what you do, you note the question, and then I will get the paper here. Note the question, and then you answer it later. Abi? Yes.
Right.
Number one.
All right. Thank you very much, His Excellency. We are happy to. I'm particularly happy to have a chance to interact with you on this session. I've been studying this catastrophe essentially for a while, and one of my first questions is, I noticed in the course throughout your conversation now, you did not mention Hamas as Hamas. What is the official relationship between PLO or the Palestinian Authority and Hamas? What's the definition of that relationship? And then secondly, in the first Balfour Declaration, which you mentioned, at that time it was I want to know if there was a Palestinian country or territory, because what I currently understand is that that period was under the Palestinian community or territory was under the Ottoman Empire at that time, and after the defeat or the collapse of the Ottoman Empire, or around that time, the British, the conquerors essentially felt they had the mandate over the territories that the Ottoman Empire was holding, which was probably why they felt they could dash it out to somebody somewhere. Is it that the British did not have that mandate, or what would be your response to that? Then thirdly, at the 1945
stop at that third one.
Okay, I will stop at the third one.
The third one.
When the United Nations did the partitioning, 54 to 45 or 46 to the Palestinians, unfair. The Palestinians rejected it at that time, which you mentioned. So why do you now want to accept 22% when you rejected 45% then?
Good question. Number 2.
All right. Essentially, he picked the question.
One of your questions.
I have a question about I think like.
Sorry, can you introduce us?
Friday. Okay, I work for Chinese TV.
Oh, good.
Yes. I actually wanted a clarification around that relationship between Hamas and Palestine.
Oh, okay.
The reason is because if you've been following some of the narrative recently, the Israeli side are saying that the reason for their bombardment is that the Hamas are using human shield. They are hiding in because there was a question from a BBC reporter about why are they bombarding residential areas where women and children are, and that was one explanation, that Hamas is using human shield. They hide in between the and so on. So that was why I wanted to ask that question. So actually asked that. Secondly, it's not a question. I want to thank the ambassador for this opportunity, because we have looked forward to having you in our studio. We've been there for several times. Yes, to the extent that it was a spokesperson of Hamas that we got across to somebody, linked us up to him. I will join him on Zoom when you are here in Abuja. So please make yourself available.
I'm available.
Make yourself available. The media here, I'm sure they would like to talk to you.
I'm sure. I already gonna share part of my.
Okay.
You shared it.
Thank you. I got this.
That's number 2. Number 3.
Number 3 is me.
Go ahead.
Okay, mine, very simple. Adamu was my name from the Guardian.
Yeah.
If you've had so many years of war with Israel. And with all the catastrophe, the loss, the human loss and property and everything. Why not just leave the entire land and then we have vast land in the desert, either in the Middle East or North Africa, and then find a fresh home. After all, human history is all about migration, either due to one problem or the other. And then you have sustainable peace.
I did not go to you because
Should I repeat myself? Should I repeat myself?
that's the question.
Repeat the question.
I should repeat.
Just the introduction and the question. The
Introduction.
Your name.
My name is
No, not your name. You made an introductory statement regarding the immigration.
What I mean is, you've had several wars with Israelis, with the support of several powers. So what I mean is that I am concerned with the human loss and material loss. So if you are not having peace, so I want to move somewhere, a fertile land, where you have sustainable peace, and then you move on from there. That's basically it. Yeah.
I want to reply to that.
Okay, yeah, reply, then we'll continue. So you said what to reply, the response to that. Oh, yeah.
Yes, and thank you so much, of course. What is the relation between the PLO and the other Palestinian political factor, which was I used not to mention it. Yes, the Palestinian people have their sole and legitimate representative, which is the Palestinian Liberation Organization that was established in 1965. We came here to have a very strong and establish our relation with Africa, in particular with Nigeria, through the Palestinian Liberation Organization. This is the exact institution or organization that recognized by Israel as the sole and legitimate representative of the Palestinian people. Other factions, likewise, name it as you like, other faction is not the representative of the Palestinian, the sole, is not recognized even by Israel as, but now, to say that yes, there is another faction, yes, our society is very rich when it came to the political issue, likewise, the Nigerian society, likewise, any African society, there is a lot of political faction, part of them is not aligning themselves with the government programs, and part of them is aligning themselves with the government program. But by the end of the day, this is an internal and a pure internal discussion and the pure Palestinian issues. Any one of you know how much or how many Israeli political faction there? No one. I can assure you, no one. How many one of those factions is completely and totally against the peace process? No one. How many of them right now is in the Israeli cabinet and declaring day and night, they even did not recognize the existence of the Palestinian people? How many one of you know that? No one. I'm pretty sure no one. How many one witnessed the current prime minister when he displaced the map before the General Assembly just 2.5 months ago, declaring that the entire historical land of Palestine, the map of it, is Israel even before 1948. This is very important. You cannot just focusing, likewise the Western media, focusing on the pure Palestinian issue and neglecting what is happening on our backyard. All those fanatics, all those messianic, all those maniac faction, Israeli political faction, no one just dare to shed light on them. This is not fair. But by the end of the day, this is their right, of course, to have their political faction. But also, if you will be fair enough, you should give us this right to have our political faction, which is sometimes or many times is going against each other when it came to their political program. This is the case of the Palestinians. Before 1917, likewise you mentioned, it's not only Palestine, Syria, Lebanon, Jordan, all of the Middle East area was a part of the, likewise, rightly you mentioned it,
part of the Ottoman Empire, but this is Palestine, this is the area of Syria, and this is, we know that this is the community called the Palestinian people, community called the Syrian people. And even Palestine, if you're gonna go to the Torah itself, long time ago, at the very beginning, at the very first book, Genesis book, before the started from the verses 12 something like this, you're gonna find us Palestine. We are existing long time ago. Canaanite, Palestine, land of Palestine, the Palestinian themselves is existing in the Torah itself, in Genesis book, in verses 12 plus at 12, I think we are starting there. But to say that are we at that time an independent? No, none of all of these countries was independent at that time. But what happened in the Sykes-Picot, and I want all of you, of course, to dig a bit on Google of the Sykes-Picot agreement at that time. They dividing it. This is, they know that this is Palestine, this is Syria, this is Lebanon, this is Jordan. They United Kingdom and France divided it. Likewise, how did they divided part of African countries? You know that some of the African country was gifted to the other country just to make sure that they're gonna have the right to fish and it's a history. It's just 100 years old history, and it's easy to dig and to Google it. So that no, we are not an independent state, but we are ready to be independent state. We had at that time after the Ottoman Empire was collapsed, we had our central bank, we had our airport, a lead airport, we had our seaports, more than one seaport of it. We had our a passport itself. We had everything to be independent state, but unfortunately, the question is, if you did not accept it at that time, 1947, the partition plan, which gave us 46 of our historical land, I want you to put yourself in our shoes. You own 96% of this property. Own it, officially, own it till today. Till today. All the official document in the British archive, in the Israeli archive, in the Ottomani archive is saying that 94% of this, the historical land of Palestine is ours. Put yourself in our shoes. Will you accept this partition? For sure, you will not. Put yourself in our shoes that 70% is pure Palestinian and the remaining 30% is a new arrival. Then those new arrival gonna have the majority of the land. Will you accept it? For sure you will not accept it. But what is the change? The political arena is completely changed, and we are rational enough to say again, we accepted in Oslo to build our state in only 22% of our historical land. Also, don't forget, in 1948 we did not believe that the whole entire world is standing and complicit. You know what? In the 1948, they have an air forest. Could you imagine? While we, the Palestinians, we used to be executed to have a bullet, and you need to dig that very deep. It's not very deep. Just Google it. In a bullet, to have a rifle, single rifle, not automatic rifle. The Palestinian used to be killed, used to be hanged to death by the British mandate. This is fact. While when they started the war, they started it long time, more than 5 or 6 months before the establishment, declaring the establishment of the state of Israel. When the British mandate was there, Deir Yassin massacre was conducted before the establishment of Israel, state of Israel. All of this information, you can read it from Ilan Babé and other Israeli history. Then we discover, while we are completely unarmed person, we discover they have an air forest. Could you imagine? So that we did not believe at that time. And if you ask anyone of the Palestinian that those new arrival will succeed to build their state, no. So that this is the point. But again, you cannot declare that you are the wisdom world. You cannot declare that you are rational enough in issue that happened in the past. It's not fair at all. But it happened. By the end of the day, it happened, and we lost, and we ethnically cleansed, and we became a refugee. And I told you, I personally born in a refugee camp. This is fact. It happened. And Palestine, they used to took the this is the justification of Israeli of the high casualty, and for sake of argument, and I want you to careful argument, I will agree with this. You already as Israel and your supporter considering those military groups as a terrorist organization. First. Second, by taking, and for sake of argument, by taking them as a human shield, they are conducting a war crime. Is it clear? So that those whom you classified them as a terrorist group also conducting a war crime. Then you came as a democratic country, as a country that believed of the international law, and to bomb and to kill the innocent Palestinian whom is already victim of, what did you call them, a terrorist group, and conducting a war crime, so that you are the big master of the war. Is it clear or not? But again, let us tackle the videos. Any one of you saw just one video for the Palestinian military group tackling or taking the Palestinian civilian as a human shield? Anyone? Just one video. And one video. No. But I have, and I can circulate to you many videos when they are using us as a human shield. Yes, I can share with you videos, not no photos, videos, so that no one will say, no, it's fabricated. Videos. When they are using us as a human shield. This is fact. Again, by the end of the day, Israel was built in a big slogan, as a big fake slogan. Land without people, for people without land. Please Google this slogan, Google it. Land without people, could you imagine? We are the owner of that land. At that time, and officially speaking, or legally speaking till today, we still have the official papers or the official document that me personally, I have it. I still have it. We still have it. You could not imagine that we still have. I still have. I mean, someone who's coming to meet me. I still have our original key for our home. It is with me here. Is it surprising you? Yes, all of this information. Then, regarding your question, yes, they are claiming day and night that because they want to justify the horrific, the killing, the torture party that they are conducting. It's not only this. I already started by denying the word, raping the women. It's at least they did not came with any single evidence. Yes, there is soldier was killed. There is civilian was took hostages in Gaza, but till today they cannot and they did not bring any single photo for the decapitated of the babies. So that it's so easy for them to justify to say that they are taking the innocent Palestinians as a human shield. But again, I still have the videos that prove not photo. I have also photos, but I have videos that showing that they are using us as a human shield, and we have witnesses for first hand that they use them in the current textbook genocide. They use them as a human shield to fight against the Palestinian regime. Regarding your question, if we did not have the weapons, and there is a lot of places to go to it, this to seek the peace, the question is why you will not accept if you are, God forbid, of course. This is the exact wording of the Israeli the last days that you should travel, you should leave. And they are living in Gaza right now, more than 40%, and some statistics is talking about completely raised, completely living in Gaza, just to enforce us to leave to Egypt, and Egypt was very clear. My question to every one of you, put yourself in our shoes. Will you accept with all the military weapons that, God forbid, someone is coming to attack your country? Will you accept to leave it? No. Will you accept to have another Nakba like was the Palestinians? I personally invested every single penny, me and my wife, to have it, to buy some property in Palestine. Do you want me to repeat what happened to my father? Let me just tell you that our grandfathers, I born in a refugee camp, I'm the second generation of the refugees. They did not have any new memory after 1948. They did not, it's a tragedy, and we will talk about the tragedy, it's a pure human tragedy. One of my grandfathers, his name is Khaled, and I call my first son after his name. He had nothing, he had no memory after 1948, no memory. And in his very last days, all of his dreams, all of his talking is about his property in Palestine. Do you want us to repeat it? We will not do. We will not do. But if someone should live for peace, the ones who is not related to Islam, the ones who is converted to Judaism only 1100 years ago, the Khazarian Jew, who should live? Who should? The Arabian Jew. They still carrying their nationality. The France, the United Kingdom, the other, they still carrying this nationality. They carry, but to ask us as a Palestinian victim and to become more victims, I think this is not fair.
So let's make it short now. Short question, short answer.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
But I already circulate to you my office business card. You can reach out to my secretary.
Yeah, straight to your question.
Your Excellency.
Introduce yourself.
My name is Okikiola Carson from Citizen FM, Abuja. I want to know what is the latest relationship between Nigeria and Palestine. I used to know that the former ambassador...
No, don't answer. That's your question.
I'm coming, sir. Let me...
Okay. You want to give historical background? Oh yeah, go ahead. I thought you have already asked the question.
Okay, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
The former ambassador to Nigeria from Palestinian was the dean of ambassador in Nigeria, and he spent 17 years. And we usually have Palestinians who comes to Nigeria to study and
yes,
other things.
And they became Nigerians, citizens.
Do we still have that opportunity? And what are you expecting the federal government of Nigeria to do as regards to what is going on in Palestine?
Really?
The second question, if I can, is December time. In Israel, we saw in social media that some of the Catholic and other people there decided that they are not going to celebrate Christmas.
It's not in Israel, it's in Palestine. It's a pure, yes, it's a pure Palestinian people. Please, Beit Lahem is Palestinian, please. You in particular, the Christian here, our distinguished brothers and sisters, Christian and Muslim, need to know more, because once you say that the Israeli, no, it's not the Israeli, it's a pure Palestinian. Jesus himself is a Palestinian. His nationality is Palestinian. The gift we gifted the Christianity, we the Palestinian gifted the Christianity to the whole entire world. Beit Lahem is a Palestinian territory. The Holy Tomb is a Palestinian territory. We are the original Palestinian. We are the original descendant of the Jesus group, of course, or Jesus first team. So
okay. I was just concerned about their decision to suspend their celebration because of the killing and representation of rubble and the children that were being killed.
Yes,
yes. So what's your take on this?
Yes.
Okay, that's number 4. Number 5. Somebody has raised hands.
No, but before that, sorry, he asked one question that Your Excellency has not answered. So what do you want the federal government of Nigeria to do?
We are taking it.
Second question?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Mine is just trying to know why, in all these destructions and people looking for a way to escape. Palestine is surrounded by Arab nations, Lebanon, Egypt, Syria. They are surrounded, but pardon my ignorance here now. I find it so difficult to see opportunity of these people allowing Palestinians to find a way into the countries. Meanwhile, they are all the same people. What could be a reason why countries like Lebanon, Egypt, Syria, even those Arab countries that surround these people, find it difficult to open their doors and windows for these troubled Palestinians to find a way, at least for a while, as a refuge?
There is nothing called for a while. Nakba will not repeat it. They call us, you will back in 1948, you will back within the next 5 and 10 months, 10 days, and they have we have a clear-cut General Assembly resolution called 194, call for Israel to allow the Palestinians to back, and since that time, 75 years, they did not allow us to visit, not to back.
Yes, next question. Next question.
Yeah, I think what is the issue?
Can I ask one that just what's your position on the one-state solution? That part of your
I think it's his question.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Regarding Obelka, from Citizen, yes, we have a lot of students here. Part of them, I know with part of them, they became a Nigerian. Some of them is already married to Nigeria, and part of the Nigerian people are already married to Palestinian women. We have a very strong relation since a long time ago. You know that the African country as a country was suffering from the, I will not say, the colonization, and especially the South Africa. We have a lot of very strong relation when it came to Nigeria. Nigeria is one of our very strong supporter in the international arena. And what did we want from Nigeria? It's not only from the Nigeria, it's from the international community. Stand firm, strong to uphold and to not accept ramping of the international. It's very important. No peace or no one is safe until everyone is safe. This is very important. Regarding the Arab countries that is surrounding, a lot of Arab countries, Lebanese, Jordan. It's not only this. We are free. For example, the majority of us is free to leave from West Bank to Jordan and to stay all over the world. But again, me in person and all of the Palestinian people, 60% of us is in the diaspora. But me in person, I'm waiting today. If they're gonna retire me, I'm waiting to back to West Bank and to live there. There's something that no one knows it about when it came to the emotional relation between the Palestinian and the historical land. It's not a place to live. It's a place lived inside our heart. It's something that even when we talk about Palestine, it's something that it's not a place, it's not a land. It's our. My English language is very poor to explain myself, but I strongly believe you got it. It's something inside us. Every one of you is living in his country, except the Palestinian. Our country is living in us. It's very important. So that when you meet any Palestinian in the diaspora, he was even the third and fourth generation who was not born, and the majority of them are not allowed to visit Palestine. You're going to find him with zero Arabic language, still talking about Palestine, and when he will be back to Palestine. It's very important. Palestine is something above and beyond a piece of land or a state. It's something, I hope that I was fluent English speaker to explain myself, but I'm pretty sure that you got my point. What about the one-state solution? Unfortunately, Israel is refusing the one-state solution. Israel is refusing the two-state solution. Israel is applying right now one state reality, and I want you all to write it, one state reality with apartheid regime. This is not our. This is, you can Google it, you're gonna find it, Amnesty, and the Israeli Human Rights Watchdog, I'm gonna bring it his name right now. Hamokade, one of it is called Hamokade, and the other is called B'Tselem. B'Tselem, yes, the other is called B'Tselem, I think. So that they are talking about one state reality with apartheid regime. So that we are ready to the peace process, but we love to have our state, our own state, to build our own state by ourselves, to guide to rule ourselves from, and to start our nation, to bring back our people from the diaspora. But unfortunately, Israel, with its support, of course, and when I say Israel, I mean its supporter, whom is treating Israel and accepting to treat Israel as a state above the international law, as a state without any impunity, of course, and you will see it very soon after, inshallah, this war has come to its end. You're going to find that there is zero impunity with full immunity, of course, for the Israeli. They treated Israel as, and this will be my last word, as, and I want you all to remember it, as the grumpy, spoiling teenager. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We thank His Excellency for that wonderful briefing. Thank you for your time. Thank you for giving an insight to what has been happening between this age-long Palestinian and Israeli issue. Gentlemen, please sit down. Let's just round up properly. We equally want to thank you, gentlemen of the press, for coming. We believe that you are always fair in your reportage. We created this platform so that you have access to His Excellency. You will be able to interact live. If somebody that is ready to receive you at any time you want to clarify any issue, feel free to call on him. He's available. You can also reach the secretariat to facilitate your seeing him, but he's very, very available to receive this. So, Your Excellency, we thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
You are indeed very welcome. Gentlemen, some people claim that you have not introduced yourself. Can we just meet you? Yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon, Your Excellency. Good afternoon, my colleagues. My name is John Luminous. I'm from Vanguard Newspaper.
Okay, Luminous, you are welcome. Esther Oya.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency. Thank you. Dear colleagues, my name is Lukman Daniel Babafula. I write for Polio Reporters.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Yahya Isa. I write from the News Agency of Nigeria.
Good afternoon. I'm Sadiq Omola, also from the Guardian newspaper.
Okay. Who else came in?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Ibrahim Obaka from Daily Trust.
Daily Trust, okay.
Daily Trust is
yes.
To come to cover.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna leave. Thank you so much again. Please introduce yourself.
Please, Your Excellency, I want to make a symbolic presentation of Supreme Council statement to you so that they just capture the picture.
Yes.
So I told you earlier, for those who are just coming, the Supreme Council already issued a statement in support of this struggle. It will be circulated to you later. So I just want to make a symbolic presentation to His Excellency. This statement by Nigeria Supreme Council, the apex Islamic body for over 140 million Nigerians, Muslim Nigerians, in support of the struggle. So we wish you well.
Thank you so much.
Justice, peace will reign.
For all.
For all.
For all.
For all.
Yes, it's very important. It's very important. I used to say that no one is and all of us is losers. This war, all of us is losers. And with the deep pain and the deep sorrow that what happened last Friday and every day, of course. This is something big personal, and I'm pretty sure the majority of the Palestinians still feeling that it's something should not happen.
So, Your Excellency is appreciating you gentlemen for coming.
The pictures are horrific.
You could see the kind of well,
That's a very sad.
well, it's one of the best I told you about. This is one of them. Is that true? Okay, maybe. Okay.